Hello, Sagittarius. It's your friend Dharma Jane, here to do a love reading for you for May 2018. I can't even believe it. And so what I want to do for this is like getting a past, present, future, but the past is going to be like the base of what the situation is. And then the present is right now whenever you watch this, and the future is going to be for like 2 weeks after that. And then I want to pull a whole new spread for what happens in June, specifically for the people that's resonating, because it's irritating when you go to one reader and you get a really awesome reading, and then you go back the next month and it doesn't resonate. So I want to try to draw this out as far as I can and get as deep as possible, you know, like concise and clear. So without further ado, calling in guides, calling in angels, calling in anyone from the highest good that has a message to come forward for Sagittarius from May 2018. Got the initial A and J. Here we go. Sagittarius in love. Stop. So, situation that we have going on for Saggies. Oh my gosh. Sagittarius is calling in their soulmate. I mean, right? There's call. And right there is the soulmate card. And you know why they're doing that? Is because they are full of anxiety. They're full of feeling betrayed all the time. And they know that they have a soulmate out there. You know how this, look at this chick. She's like looking in the water. Like, when is it going to be my damn turn? You know, I keep entertaining all these, you know, giant boxes of tools. And what's happening is I'm getting hurt all the time. I keep having the 4 of Wands, having the happy home, but it keeps flipping upside down. It's just that I feel like there's a manifestation issue, because we do have the 4 of Pentacles, which is holding on to. And I feel like it's holding on to the way that it should look. So there's, you know, a group of Saggies out there who are like trying to manifest this new love, possibly while they're still with somebody else. Which, I mean, whatever. Do what you do. No worries. But they're trying to do it with maybe a specific somebody. And I feel like right here in the beginning of end of April, beginning of May, or more like the end of April, that there's been a letting go of who they think should be their partner, and just letting the universe and spirit bring in the person that really is for them. See? That just like flew out. There's a seed waiting somewhere. I mean, if Sagittarius is really calling in their soulmate, I can't believe these cards came out like that together. If Sagittarius is really doing that, there's a seed waiting. It's just you need to get out of your own way, which means basically stop thinking about it. Like, once you decide, okay, I'm going to receive my new love, stop thinking about it. Because when you do that, that gives the universe space. It doesn't have to crawl through all of your thoughts on how it should look. You just accept that manifestation works like science, and it will show up in your life, but you can't add any extra frequency to it. Like worry and wonder and I can't wait and ooh boys. Even though that's what we want to do, you can't do that, because you have an emperor coming. Ooh yeah, this is like I want to be like daddy's in charge. Somebody who's like strong and fierce, and who will I heard meet the expectations. I feel like some Sagittarians have had this, like, you know, for the Sagittarian women, really like a strong man who does strongman things, you know, maybe has a truck, goes out and digs up dirt, whatever, guy stuff, like super duper guy stuff. And they keep attracting more feminine men, which there's nothing wrong with a more feminine man. It's just like what this particular Sagittarian energy that I'm reading for the females is that they want like a dirty man's man. whatever. I don't know why I'm like on that. But the point is that this emperor, this dude with this seed, is that. So much so to where I think that eventually it might irritate you a little bit. Irritate you in a good way, I guess. Yeah, because there's some Sagittarians who are in this, like, really crappy relationship right now. Yeah, right? I'm sick of that. Nobody got time for that. Yeah, you're calling in your seed. Oh my God. There's one seed right there. Calling it in, and here it is. Bam, look how big it is. What's your seed? Your seed, your soulmate. Well, but there's an impatience factor. That's what I was talking about. You're blocking yourself with the ooh boys and oh, I can't wait. Oh, 4 of Pentacles on top of 4 of Pentacles. That's exactly what I'm talking about. You have to move aside and let Spirit just come in. And the way you do that is you stop thinking about it. Yeah, and then you'll reap your rewards. This whole calling in thing that you're trying to do is deserved. Like, whatever's coming towards you is deserved, because there's so many indications of just a really, really, really shitty relationship that this Sagittarian energy has gone through, been drugged through, I feel like. I mean, look, I just keep looking at her face. When is it my turn? When is it my turn? But this queen has 2 kings to choose from. So here you are, Queen of Fire. There's 2 sets of people here. So the King of Water is the dude that you are interested in, or maybe is interested in you. There's 2 relationships here. But I feel like they're mismatched. Like, I feel like I want to kind of put this one with that one, and this one in with that one, and maybe this one can just kind of leave all together. But look at all of these people. It's like a knowing, or like a realization that everybody's with the wrong people. And everyone knows that they have other options. Everyone. All 4 people. Because if both of these 2 people who, like, both of these soulmates here are feeling the call, they're already with somebody else on both sides. But they can feel that these other options coming in is, like, extremely positive. And there's a lot of, you know, they're going to get that passionate talk that they want. Which is funny, because it's like all 4 people want to have, like, a passionate, loving relationship, but they're spending their time, you know, thinking about someone else doing the passionate, loving relationship things. And for those of you who want to keep the original relationship together, it's like, well, if you're going to spend your time loving on this other person, if you redirected your love back to your original lover, then you would be putting the energy back into that. Because as long as you're giving it somewhere else, you're just depleting the energy. Yeah, right? Everybody's current relationship is askew. Oh my goodness. There are two people out of these 4 know that they belong together. Because, see what I'm saying? Soulmate. They can feel it. They can't help it. So this is like middle of May. Oh, and here's the Queen of Fire. But I just pulled the Queen of Fire again on top of the Queen of Earth, and I kind of just wanted to be like, this one overshadows this one. So it's like one of these kings who is actually with this queen of earth chooses. I think that the people break up so that the rearranging can happen. See, there's your yes card. Yes, they do. Ah, it's too many. Just got 20 cards. Page of Pentacles in reverse. Well, and you know what card fell down just a minute ago was the Four of Cups. So there is going to be some disappointment with this. And so if there was an earth sign person involved, and here's your King of Earth under all this. No, it's not. That's the Four of Pentacles, which is the earth. So if you're holding on to an earth sign, or somebody was holding on to an earth sign, I mean, they're going to be disappointed. That's just the way it is because, I mean, that cycle is over. But I don't feel it's like catastrophic. I just feel like it's disappointing. And there's your Page of Pentacles in reverse. And I also like want to talk about guilt. Like somebody feels really guilty for doing this. There's your Emperor. The Emperor makes good, solid, like, firm decisions. But that doesn't mean that he doesn't have remorse. Because I feel like that the person that he's with right now, initially he, you know, really liked them. And, you know, I feel like he still does like them. But it's not like this. It's not like staying awake all night, wondering what they're doing, just like pining for them. It's not that. It's just, I like them. See? I don't know why I said C. King of Pentacles. It's just like the more practical decision, which would be to stay with the original person, just doesn't. Yeah, because somebody's going to wind up feeling left out in the cold. That's what I'm talking about. That's the message I think that's trying to come across right now for the present, which would be like May-ish, is that someone, the leaving of, the splitting up of, the rearranging of makes people feel uncomfortable. Like I need to get off of that. See, but then you have your Ace of Cups. Like towards the end of May, I mean, bam, there it is. Bam, High Priestess, spiritual relationship. And there's your Page of Pentacles again, which I'm, you know, really kind of interpreting as guilt. But this has been, you know, earned. Here's your Ace of Pentacles, right? Something that's earned. I feel like this is like a gift. But you do have the Chariot in reverse. But the Chariot is still a really strong card, which is like your yes card, your success card. But I feel like it's there, like the energy of success is there, but it's in reverse because you still have this guilt. Like I mean, somebody feels shitty for like breaking up something in order to have something else. But I feel like it's important to say that it's deserved, like earned, like Seven of Pentacles earned. Long time coming with the Knight. Six of Earth. That's equal give and take. I just feel like this is deserved. So it might be with an earth sign, because there's a lot of pentacles down there. What's the Ace of Cups? See? Here's all the love in chats. That's Cupid's arrows. That's being validated and having someone that you can talk to that understands you and like is on the same, has like the same sense of humor that you do. Ten of Pentacles. I mean, you're just, But then there's the Ten of Swords, so something did end. Something did end. But you can't get any deader, you know? So, I just don't, it's something else. The one from here. Because then there's your Ace of Swords. It might be an air sign also that you choose overall. And there's your air sign again. Some of you might actually decide to stay. But then with this Queen of Swords in reverse, I feel like that's a mistake. Like that's not being logical or a good judgment to continue staying in something that you know that you don't belong in. Because this is the face that you have when you stay in this relationship. When is it my turn? Why do I always have lack? Why? Why won't someone love me the way that I feel like I should be loved? You know, if my lesson in this life was self-love and I'm totally into me and I think that I'm awesome, which is how you're supposed to feel, when is it my turn to experience what it feels like to have someone else love me? And that's the constant state that whoever this energy is for. That's what they feel. Which is why the decision had to be made to leave someone. Leave them. I don't think they're going to leave you. This is like leaving them. And feeling guilty about it. There might even be kids involved. With all these pentacles. All these pages, I mean. But I think this is a warning. Like if you turn around and go back to this because you feel so overwhelmingly guilty, probably because they make you feel guilty. That's why you feel lack all the time, because you're never going to be good enough according to them. This is a warning. If you go back to that, this is what you can expect. You can't get any deader, but they are more than happy to keep sticking swords in you. So, I want to be like, beware. See? Because if you move on, you get the Ten of Pentacles. You get it. It's a gift. But you have to accept it. And you will keep riding around on this karmic cycle forever. I mean, the universe will present you with things, but you have to like step onto the new karmic wheel. It will sit there and wait for you. And you'll just stay stuck in your loophole. See, because that's a Six of Swords. You move on. You move forward. I feel like there's a little bit of a stagnant, like, well, maybe. Just no. Just no. Just don't even want to talk about it. Don't do that. There's the King of Swords, so you might be moving on towards an air sign. Okay, so now I want to know about June. So we know that at the end of May, there's going to be a little hiccup, maybe a thought of like returning, but then I feel like there's success after that. So we've moved on. We take the next 6 weeks and move on from the relationship we're in now to deal with this soulmate energy that's around us, and I feel that both parties are doing it. But then you come to this in June. This is having a partner. This is having someone who is willing to defend the fort with you. And that's important. It's very hard to defend a whole... I don't know why I keep talking about defending, but it feels like something needs defending, and it's like you finally have someone who's willing to do that with you. And this is also like a seeing the light. Like now I feel like it takes a minute to kind of shake off the energy of the old relationship, which honestly I don't feel like anyone is mentally in walking into May anyways. Like they already know that they need to break up, and now that they did in June, there's this light bulb of like, oh my God, this is what it feels like to feel good. This is what it feels like to like be in a relationship that isn't awful. I'm just happy. But then, you know, I feel like somebody's going to hear news that they don't really appreciate. News that you don't appreciate. And I think it's gossip. For some reason, I want to talk about a work relation. So this person, soulmate type person, might be at work. I think it's supposed to be, I think that someone will try to sabotage this. I really do. So there's the gossip, right? The 3 of Cups. Oh, jeez. Sorry about that. So there's your air sign. Death. So, okay. Whatever this is in June that you hear, this like finding out thing, I think is really going to hurt your feelings. But I actually feel like it has to do with the air sign. No. Because these two, this is a coming together. Oh, I know what it is. I think that your old partner like hooks up with somebody else. And then you're like suddenly wrapped up in these emotions of, well, you know, I don't know. It feels like territorial, perhaps. And then you have this like realization that it is actually over. And I think because I'm all like, yeah, you're going to come out of this, you know, transition and feel like, wow. And then you have this like realization of this like thing. But then you're like, oh, that's okay. I mean, transition is transition, right? Can I get a final outcome? What can we expect for this relationship for Libra and love? What can we expect for this relationship? The devil. Okay. Here's the deal. This King of Pentacles is all over the place. So whoever this king is to you, I feel like there's going to be a constant battle with because of like a social status. And it's kind of like, well, if you're willing to deal with that, fine. But I think this is going to be like a mental decision of whether or not you're going to be willing to deal with this. Just, I hope that makes sense, because I'm kind of like, suddenly I got like, well, you know, because the undercards felt so positive about this thing, but it's almost like while this maybe air sign is great or whatever, this old thing for the next 2 months is almost going to be like overwhelmingly in your face because it needs dealt with. So I don't really feel this like calling in your soulmate thing leaving. I just don't feel like it getting resolved before like the end of May, because you have to deal with your initial soulmate. Because I mean, if you're married to somebody, they're your soulmate in one way or another, soul tribe. But your karmic cycle with them is done. So now you have a new soulmate that you're calling in who is around, and I think there's like, you can feel it with this, you know, intuition here. It's just, it takes steps and processes to get to them, and that it feels a little sad. And that it's just something that you're going to need to deal with and get through and handle. And you will. I mean, everybody does. It just takes a while. Okay, that's all I have for you, Sagittarius, for May. Find me on Instagram, dharmajane.8. If you'd like a private reading, the info is in the box below. Have a good one.